So tell me about the back and forth between you and Jeff Negus, I believe his name is, the narrative director. How does
Yeah,
that relationship work between you two, and also the relationship between you and Brian Bloom, the writer?
yeah.
How are they different as well? I'd like to know.
Man, I kind of saw them as like one unit almost. They
Okay.
they they are um, they created Alejandro. They created this world for us. So they were kind of like mom and dad every time that I was like, hey, am I doing this right? Is this okay? It was funny because the first time that I walked in there to do the role, I had done all this research and I came ready to work that first day, but then I started to do my thing and I started to talk like Alejandro and do that voice and they didn't stop me. And I was just like, okay, like, can I keep going? Is it okay if I'm doing this? And they're like, yeah, we like what you're doing. Keep doing it. So it was just like gave me so much freedom to do what I wanted, within reason, of course. But
Yeah.
yeah, definitely like again, we all kind of met somewhere in the middle with this character and the story, and it was just all about bringing out the most dynamic scenes and relationships. It was all about relationships, and character story, as Brian says. So I'm just glad that we all kind of came together and created something memorable.
Lieutenant, last one says they call you Ghost.
Actually, I believe he prefers to
How do? Welcome to the City of Souls.
Do you mind if I hear the voice? Because I'm listening to you now. I'm hearing a little bit of it, but it's not your natural voice,
It's not the
Alejandro.
natural voice, no. Alejandro sounds, yeah. Alejandro's voice is back in the throat. It sounds somewhat scarred, and I kind of wanted it to sound scarred. I wanted it to sound like, okay, this guy's been through something. And it's interesting because Alejandro, to me, doesn't talk like anybody else around him. He doesn't talk or act like he's of this time, and
No.
that, that,
Mm.
that that's what I, really wanted to do was to kind of give this guy a sound that like, hey, wait a minute, what century are you from? You know what I mean? Because my little secret that I love to play the most in this character was that I kind of saw him as like the spirit of an Aztec warrior. And I thought to myself, well, if I was an Aztec warrior, like how would I be fighting? What would I be doing? And that kind of made him almost superhuman for me,
Mm.
because then it was like,
Love
wait,
that.
this guy's been around for centuries and centuries fighting wars, and winning battles. And
Mm.
he's always going to be doing it, and it gave me the idea that like, hey, if you killed Alejandro, like you still better run. It's not over for you yet. Like you still should be worried, you know?
Man, just speaking to you now, you're so different to the character. So again, kudos to you, man. I mean, I don't know how you
Thank
found that voice. I guess you just, as you said, you went back in the back of the throat and it came to you.
A
But
little bit, yeah, but it was also fine tweaking it, I guess, because at first I was like, well, that sounds kind of like what I want, but then it was also about how do I get back into that voice over and over and over again, and then eventually I found it, and I just kind of was able to tap into it whenever I needed.
Fuerza, compa! Aquí te apoyo!
Say to Dan,
yeah, what would he say to Dan? What would he say to me?
keep doing what you're doing, and everything you do, you got to do it weapons hard, vaquero. So you got to go in there, guns blazing, man, and you can ride with Alejandro any day for sure.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Thank you.